Looking good. Welcome, everybody. I'm Catherine from Michaels. Go ahead and comment. Tell us where you're from. We are so excited to have you all here. So many people still joining. Hi. We will have you muted just to help, eliminate background noise. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns while we're going through this lesson today, please feel free to put your question in the chat. We will make sure that it either gets answered in the chat or we'll answer it live for you. If you're taking notes and you missed something, don't worry. We will be recording this session and we will post the recording in just a couple days once it's ready to be uploaded. So don't worry if you miss anything. This will be posted. We've got people from Arkansas, Alabama, Wilmington, California. All right, we've got a great crowd. All right, Virginia, New Hampshire, Texas, North Carolina. All right. Hello, everybody. Again, like I said, my name is Catherine from Michaels. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. We are so excited to share this with you. We saw such great interest in wanting to learn a little bit more about Design Space, so this should be a really fun series. Like I said, this will be recorded. Don't worry if you miss something. Please feel free to ask as many questions as you want. You are probably not the only one that has that question, so don't be afraid to ask and we will get it answered. And without further ado, I am so excited to hand this off to Joy and Jenny from Cricut. Thank you both for being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Catherine. I have to do a small public announcement before we start the class. This is a work from home real life, and apparently my apartment complex is doing fire alarm testing. So if I suddenly have to go on mute because a fire alarm goes off, don't anybody panic. It's just a test. And Jenny and Catherine will answer some questions and then we'll come right back.
So hi, everybody. I see a lot of beautiful smiles looking back at me today. Thank you for making me feel not so lonely at my home office here. My name is Jenny. I work with Joy at Cricut, and we are part of the Cricut and Michaels team that brings you everything that you need to craft your dreams come true. And we're super excited to talk to you today about Design Space. We've had a lot of feedback over the past couple of years that Design Space seems to look like it's intimidating. Some people are like, what the heck is Design Space? Why do I need it? What do I do with it? It can be overwhelming just to start like anything new, right? Like anything new that we start that we know nothing about, we can be a little bit intimidated, right? This is not something in your life that you need to be intimidated by. Once you take this class with me and Joy today, you are going to have your aha, the penny drop moment where you're like, I still got that. You're going to be much more creative than we're even going to show you today. So today we're just going to talk about Design Space, what it is. We're going to talk about how you get into it, how you set up your machine to link with it. And then as these classes progress, thanks to Michaels, who's hosting these awesome online classes every week, we will keep adding new pieces to Design Space to show you. Hi, someone's waving at me. We're going to show you all the different expert tips and tricks to do different types of things. So today is really just a high-level class just to kind of introduce you, make sure that you feel comfortable jumping in there. For those of you that don't have a Cricut machine, you don't need to have a Cricut machine to sign up for Design Space, which is great. And Design Space has a lot of options for you, and we're going to walk through that here today. Joy is going to be the best teacher in the whole world because she is so good at that. I mean, I'm just here because she tells me to be here and I do this part. But she's going to get on there and she's going to show us how to work through an actual couple project pieces, from images to make it now projects. She'll kind of highlight some of the key words that we talk about so you understand what it is we're talking about. A lot of the time you'll hear us say make it now projects and you're like, what is a make it now project? We're going to talk about that today. So what I'd like to do is share my screen with you guys, and we're going to walk through the very first part of getting set up on Design Space. Can you see that, Joy?
Yep.
Okay. So the first thing, you've got your machine or you're thinking about getting a machine, and let's say you have it and you've opened up the box and you see the Welcome to Cricut pamphlet inside. You're just going to open that up and it's going to direct you here to Cricut.com. It's going to ask you to set up your machine, which is very simple. It's going to tell you everywhere to find the details that you need to set up that profile on Design Space. Most important to know, it costs you nothing to get on Design Space for the first time, right? It's only if you're paying for an image or if you want to pay for a monthly subscription or an annual subscription, but otherwise you can use Design Space completely for free. The number one question we get is, can I upload my own images? And the answer is yes, you can. Yes? Yes. Okay. So we're going to go to Cricut.com. Super simple. Let me move my little chat bar here. We're going to click Design. And this is what takes us to Cricut Design Space for Windows, because that's what I'm working on here. It's going to ask you to download the application. It should just take a couple minutes. I'm going to open mine because it's already downloaded. Opening.
Click that. Click your Open Design Space desktop application.
Yeah, I did that. Let me, hold on one second, see if I can open it over here.
So here's a great question while we're getting your Design Space open. What is the difference in price for the monthly versus annual subscription?
That is a very good question. You can, so Jenny, since you're on Cricut, Cricut here, can you go back over to Cricut.com and type in Design Space, and it will take you to the monthly subscription costs, because it varies. You can pay what per month, $9.99, $9.99, and then you can also pay if you just type Design Space into the search.
Oh,
it'll come up with a subscription. Oh, not in your Google, in Cricut.com. This will take you there too.
There we go.
But it depends. It really depends on how you want to do it. You can purchase images that are individual for about 99 cents. You can do $7.99 if you do per month, and then there's a price for the yearly, but I can't remember exactly what that price is right now. But if you go to Cricut.com and search for the subscriptions, you can find the Design Space subscriptions there, and then it will show up for you. Jenny.
Clearly, I cannot even type Cricut.com.
Yeah. This is the start, right? This is how it all begins. And then there's a search bar in Cricut.com within the website. If you type in Design Space, it'll take you to the monthly subscriptions, and you can get your subscription there, or you can set up your subscription once you have downloaded the application to your desktop. I'll show you how you can do that from within the application.
So it's because I'm on the Zoom call, it's covering up all of my panels of the search. So I'm sorry, I can't do that. Otherwise, I can't see you guys. So I've opened Cricut Design Space, and this is where, so Cricut Design Space, what is it, right? This is basically your application, your software, your platform, your profile. It is all of your content lives here. So anything that you want to upload, anything that you want to design, this essentially is your canvas for your creativity. And what Design Space has done is we've incorporated hundreds of thousands of images, fonts, and projects for you to choose from, so you can make whatever your imagination wants you to. So one of the first things to do when you play is when you get onto Cricut Design Space, you can go ahead and click New Project, which is this blank left-hand corner, and it takes you to your canvas.
Jenny, sorry to interrupt. I don't think we can see it. I think it's still on the Cricut download view.
Yeah.
Jenny, do stop sharing and then reshare your screen.
Sure. Gotcha.
And it'll probably show up the right one.
Let's see. Share screen.
And I apologize for the garbage truck outside of my window.
This is real life. Technical difficulties and garbage trucks. Okay. So can you guys see it now?
Yes, you have your blank canvas open.
Awesomeness. Okay. So this is your canvas of creativity. It's very simple once you know what all the different little buttons mean, and I'm going to let Joy walk us through the detail, but I'm just going to give you this highlight. This is your new canvas. This represents an inch, obviously, of measurement up and down. So you can measure your design to any given width or height. We have templates that you can use. So for example, you might be making a shirt or you might be making a banner. We have projects, which we call Make It Now projects, and Joy's going to walk us through one of those. We have images, where you can literally type in this search engine here any type of image you might be looking for. So I could type in heart, for example, and hit enter, and it's going to pull up all the different designs of hearts that Design Space has for us to use. There's also text, where you can type in your font, and then you have an opportunity to change your font up here. And Joy's going to walk through that as well for us. So this is just kind of at a high level, this is where you design all of your imagery to tell the machine what to do, to tell it to cut something, to draw something, or to score. Okay, Joy, you ready to take over?
I'm ready.
Okay, let me stop.
Okay. So let me just share my screen. And I'm going to go right to Design Space. And this is what you would see as soon as you sign in to Design Space. So here it's going to have this little 3 layers symbol on the left side. You have your home. It tells you welcome with your name. You can search for your own projects. The machine type that you're using is right here. And personally, I like this when it says welcome Joy, and I'm using my Joy machine. And then any new project that I want to make is over here. But if I scroll down, this tells you some things that are happening that are new within Cricut or Design Space. And as I scroll down, I can see my projects. So if you've been signing in for the classes the last few weeks, these are the projects we've been working on. And I'm going to show you how to do this one here with some touches and things. You can see when you get your subscription, it's a Cricut Access subscription. So when you have the subscription like I do, you'll see A's on the sides of things. And that means that this particular design is free for you to use. And then I'll also show you, if you don't have a subscription, how to access the free content that is on the site as well. So within any of these areas,
Hey, Joy.
Yes.
Are you scrolling on your screen? There's a couple comments here that they can't see. It looks like it's frozen.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Am I frozen though?
Are you scrolling, or are you just on the same screen?
I am scrolling.
Okay.
Oh, I think yours frozen.
I'm frozen? Okay, so I will try it again. Let's end that, and then let's reshare and see if that doesn't work. Can we see that now?
Yep, I can see you scrolling away.
Yeah.
Scrolling. Okay, so from the very top, I was scrolling down. So this part is what shows you what's happening in Design Space or Cricut. And then you have your own projects. You have Cricut Access projects, Ready to Make projects. And within any of these, you can move your scroll from side to side as well, so that you can see more projects that are coming up. So, so you have this as an option. And I wanted to show you first, actually let's go right here, because if we go left to right, it's the easiest. So if you click on this little hamburger symbol, this is where your profile lives. And you can see information on the side here. This is kind of where you go when you need to set things up or where you need to do some things right in the very beginning. So like we were talking about before, here's where I can set up your Cricut access. You'll get 1 month for free. And then, oh, then it popped me right over to my canvas where Jenny was before. But let's go right back here. You can see your account details, any updates that are happening, any setting things that you need to do, any of this information. So the setting up part is in that little 3-line piece over here. Then you can go to your canvas, which is right here, the place that we're going to work on to design. And then you can go to your own projects that you've designed already. This will show you all the things that you've already made and let you pick from your projects that you have. I'm just going to go back to Canvas because I probably have a lot of projects that have to load there. And we're going to do a Make It Now project, which is the easiest thing to do in Design Space. So as we're in the canvas and we have these icons down the side, we're just going to go to projects. And these are the ones that are already set up and ready to go. Okay, I don't know why, unable to load categories. So if I wanted to choose something from here, I am going to not quit. I'm going to do my search from here. I'm going to search in all categories and I'm going to search beach because it's summertime. But you could search graduate, you could search Father's Day, you could search any of those other time periods as you'd like to. And I can choose a project right from in here. And I think the seashell artwork is cute and I think it's a great project to show first. So if I click on that.
Joy, real quick, can you go back to your screen and explain? There's been a couple questions about the green icon that they're seeing in the corner of the images.
Yes, that is when you have your subscription. If something is eligible for you to use within your subscription, you'll see the little icon right there on the side. So that means you've already paid for it. It's part of your subscription. So I have a subscription and you can see the A's that I have. So if not, it would have a little price tag underneath for you to purchase it. So let's look at in the Make It Now projects. The nice thing about a Make It Now project is that the project is right here in the opening, and then you can come down and read a little bit about it. So this particular one will use the vinyl from the Seaside Sampler roll of vinyls that's available at Michael's. And this is gonna be your finished size, your materials that you need, and anything else that you might need. So this would be any of your tools, your machine, that kind of thing. It'll tell you how to get prepared, what you're gonna cut, and then how to assemble. And there's always good tips within these projects. And if you scroll all the way down, let's say you just like an image that's in there, you could come all the way down and see the different images, and then you could use those if you wanted to just use those alone. So you have all kinds of information right here on this front screen. And I can do one of two things. I can come in here and customize it, or I can just click the Make It button. If I click the Make It button, Design Space is going to go ahead and set everything up for me. Now, one thing that I'm noticing is that I have selected my Joy machine. So I want to go back and, well, let's just say we're going to cut on a mat. Answer the question. But my machine that's set up is the little Joy machine, which is the little guy. So it's going to break all the projects up, all the things that I want to cut, into different mats. There are going to be different mats for each of the different colors. So you can see where you would use all the different colors of vinyl. And you're going to have at least 6 mats that you need to load in order to make the project. So from here, I can say it's on a mat. I can get ready and just go ahead and cut from right here. I'm gonna cancel because I want to go up here and change my machine to the Explore family. And then I'm going to come back down to the seaside. Got to redo my beach.
Joy, a couple people have asked, can you use Design Space on an iPad or another device?
You certainly can. You can use it on an iPad. You can use it on an iPhone. Anything that you can connect to your machine to cut, you can use it on. So this is going to load all those different colors. Something that I want to point out right here is this mirror button. If you had decided that you wanted to do this for iron-on, you would want to click the mirror button because you want your iron-on to mirror the shape. So I'm going to unclick that, and that's how easy it is to make a Make It Now project. So you would just cut all your different pieces and then assemble as the instructions tell you to assemble. So I'm going to cancel out of this one, and I want to show you now how to do a few things that are unique or different. So I'm going to log into just my canvas right here, and I want to show you within images that there are all types of images that you can search for. And there's a list down here, and you can see that I've clicked on that image button over here. There's all kinds of extra information in here. When I first started in Design Space, I didn't realize that the plus signs meant open these up, because then it can show you information and things to choose. So let's say I want to do, I haven't signed up for my subscription yet. I don't know what I want to do yet. So I'm going to choose to see all the free images. And let's say I want something, I like elephants. So I'm going to type in elephant. And I have this cute little elephant here. So I like him. And I'm going to just click on him, and the green bar outlines. So now I can come down here to this green button, click Insert Image, and all of a sudden that image comes into my canvas space. So now I can start working with this little guy right here. You'll also see on the side that we have different layers for this particular elephant. So we have some pieces that are in blue, and we have the elephant that's in purple, and those different sides show up right here. Now, let's say you're just an elephant lover, but you don't want the hearts. Over here on the side with the layer, this eyeball right here, you could click that, and it would just give you the elephant alone. If you unclick that, you say, no, I just want the stream of hearts, I can come over here and click the little eye, and the elephant goes away. So those are just ways that you can work with the layers that you have on the side of your project. Something else that I want to show you is that if I just take this and I say, oh, I really want to cut that, and I just hit Make It Now, then it's automatically going to separate the hearts onto a blue mat and the little purple elephant onto a second mat. If I'm doing this from iron-on, I'm going to want to remember to click the mirror piece there, and then I can continue. And my machine is going to say, okay, which machine would you like? And because I work at Cricut, I get to hook up to lots of different machines. And I just went ahead and hooked up to my Air 2 machine. And you can mark materials to be your favorites. You can also come over here and browse materials. I like to do a lot of things with iron-on, so I've marked iron-on as a favorite. But let's say you do a lot with vinyl. I can come down here and find vinyl. It's in alphabetical order, and then it's by category. So let's say I like to use glitter vinyl a lot. I can click this little star over here, and that means that's a favorite. So now I can come back up.
So Joy, there was, I'm sorry to interrupt you. There's a couple really great questions on here. I just want to make sure we don't miss.
Sure.
One of them is, what is the latest version of Design Space? And if I have X version, is it okay?
So the latest version, every time you come into Design Space and open it, it will ask you to update your firmware. So the latest version is version 5.8.15. And you'll see that right at the tippy top. Can you guys see that at the tippy top of the screen up here?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So yeah, just if it asks you to update, just update your firmware each time. So I've gone ahead and I've made another item, one of my favorites, but I'm going to pick the everyday iron-on. And now it's automatically going to go over to my machine. The little dots on the top are going to tell me to load material. And then once I've loaded material, I can press the go mode and everything will cut. But let's say I want to do a couple of different things. I'm going to hit cancel. It's going to ask me, are you sure you want to do that? And I'm going to say, yes, I'm sure I want to do that. And I'm going to keep going back until I get to my little elephant. Let's say I think this is super cute and I want to add some text underneath and make it for my friend who just had a baby. So here I'm going to put the baby's name is Emily. So I'm going to come up here and I want to make a little bit different font on this. And
while
as
Joy
you're
is looking for that font, Joy, could you explain if they wanted to cut the elephant and the hearts in the same color vinyl or iron-on, can you show them how to do that? There's a couple questions here.
Yep, that's how we're going to cut it. That's how we're going to do it. So I am going to pick the font that I want, but for some reason, let's see. All right, let's just choose. So some of the things about choosing a font that are really important. Can you see here, this one says single layer cutting, and then some say multi-layer cutting, and then some say multi-layer cutting and writing. So I know I don't want to do anything fancy. I just want a single layer cut. So I'm going to choose this particular font right here because I think it's cute. But I want these letters to come closer together. So if you come up to your letter spacing and click, you can make things spread out or you can make them come closer together. So I'm going to bring them to the size of the little elephant and kind of position that there because I think I like that and I think that's cute. Now, if I go to make it and I just don't do anything to those letters, everything's going to end up on the different spaces. So like Jenny just asked, the question of making everything the same color so that it'll cut all on one space, I am going to go up here to my design and click just the hearts. I'm going to ungroup this and click just the hearts. So I went over here to this side, right up here, and I hit ungroup and I click just the hearts. And you see how the blue color is right up here? Let's make purple. And then I don't want my letters to be on a different page either. So let's make those purple as well. Now, if I hit make it, everything goes onto one canvas, but it all got jumbled up. So if I want it to be exactly how I had it, I've got to hit cancel. And then I'm going to highlight the hearts. And I'm gonna, when I do this, I want to click the shift key on my keyboard and click the elephant and click the letters so that everything is in one rectangle together. And then I'm going to come up over here and hit group. And that brings it all together. So now you can also do an attach, which is down lower, so that now when I go to make it, it's all one group together. Everything's going to cut out of the one color. It's all going to be on one mat. So let's say I want this to be for that baby onesie, but I don't know really how to size it. So I'm going to go over here to my templates and I'm going to look for a baby onesie. And oddly enough, I'm going to find that under pajamas.
Hey, Joy.
Yes.
Here's a really, really good question because this is something that I never knew either. What is the difference, excuse me, between group and weld?
That is a very good question. The difference between group and weld is, okay, let's do this. Two things I'm going to show you real quick. So when I put the little template in for the onesie, see how it made my canvas get bigger, so it's not just like 1-inch squares anymore. But let's say I want to get in closer. I can come, as soon as it's very hard to see, but you can see where my mouse is. This is a very ghosty color. If I go down here and I hit plus, I can bring that back up to a size that I like, or down. Okay, so the difference between weld and attach. Let's say I want to build a house, or I want two pieces to come together to form a house. I'm going to click on a square, and Design Space is going to want to think for a minute here. But the difference between weld and attach is basically that if you just attach things into a group, they're not stuck together. So if I have a square on the bottom and then a triangle on top to build a house, and I just attach, there still will be a cut line. Oh, so look, I got a little excited and I pressed that 3 times. Oops. Just press it once. If I weld, then the lines between the triangle and the square won't be there anymore. So I wish this would show you a little faster than it's doing. It is thinking. While it's thinking.
I've noticed a couple comments about a few folks having challenges cutting through their materials that they're using. So the first thing I would suggest that you first try is make sure that your material is set up on your cut. So as you see Joy on her canvas, when she goes to make it, it will ask for the material choice. Make sure you're choosing the right material. Also make sure that you're using.
And there are a couple things. If you're using.
Sorry, Joy, go ahead.
Sorry, I think, you know what, when we're on Zoom and I'm using all of this, I might be using a lot of my internet capacity, which might be making this a little tricky. So I don't know why the square won't go away. Okay, there we go. So
I just wanted to finish saying, if you're having a challenge cutting your material, also double check your blade. The Cricut blades that are inside the machines are great blades, are great quality blades. They last for a very long time, but depending on how often you cut and the material that you're cutting, those blades, just like your shower razor, will start to wear down over time. So go ahead and double check your blade. The other thing you might want to check is the pressure. Sometimes you might be working with a non-Cricut branded material, so you may need to figure out what the custom setting is for that material. And then I would also make sure that you're using the appropriate type of blade depending on the material you're cutting. So for example, Air 2, you might need a fine point or a deep cut. If you're using the Maker and you're cutting fabric, you're going to want to use the rotary blade. So there's different blades, different machines, and different pressure for different materials that you're cutting. The great news about Design Space is it offers you all of that detailed, customized experience based on what you tell it that you're going to cut.
Yes, that is a great explanation. So while Jenny was telling you all of that, I got my little house to set up here, and I want to show you the weld, what the difference is. If I take this triangle and put it on top of and I'm going to just make this group not show for a minute and this not show for a minute. If I just put these two together and I hit attach and I go attach, then when I go to make it, they're going to show up here, but you can see the triangle still has this line. They're going to cut as separate pieces. So they came together, but they're still going to cut as separate pieces. If I want them to come together as one piece, I'm going to right click and just drag my mouse to collect them all together. And that will, when I release the mouse, that'll automatically group them all up. And I'm going to hit weld. Now this time, when I go to make it, you're going to see that that line is gone. So this is actually going to cut the shape of the house instead of cutting it as two separate things. The only way to undo a weld command is to hit the undo button, while you're still designing. As soon as you've saved it, it's welded, it's done. The other time you might want to use the welding feature is when you're using lettering. So here I have Jenny's name in a cute lettering font, but the letters are separated from each other, and I want them to come together and be part of each other. So I'm going to just move them a little bit together by using the letter spacing up here at the top, but they're not exactly where I want them to be. So right now they are a group of letters. I'm going to hit ungroup. And then I like to go ahead and make something bigger while I'm working on it right here. So now that I have each letter, I can then nudge the letters together so that this will come together as one word. So I'm just going to take a few minutes. I'm not going to make this perfect at all because I'm going fast. So, and each time if I want to move these letters as a group, I just highlight them as a group. So I'm going to get them all close and leave the J separate. So now each one of those letters is separate. So if I hit the make it now, it's gonna all assort into some crazy thing. So we don't want that to happen. If I attach them, if I just go attach and I hit make it, then you're still gonna get little cut lines in where you put the letters together. It's a little misleading here, and I still have it pretty big, so Design Space adjusted it. But if well, all of these letters together, make this a little bit smaller because it is rather gigantic, and hit make it, then this is going to be one word. The J will be separate, but the rest of Jenny's name will all be together. And then that will cut together. So that's kind of the difference between attach and weld. You sort of have to think, do I want these things ironed together, or can they be separate and have a line cutting when the machine cuts it?
So Joy, someone has a great question here. Why does Design Space turn the wording vertically on my mat?
It will turn it vertically. Okay, so let's go back to Jenny's name, and let's say I have it pretty big, and now we all know that the mat is only 11 and something inches, but let's say I go up to 13 inches and I hit make it. It's going to turn it vertically because now it's also putting it on a 12 by 24 mat so that you can get that whole piece. If you're cutting something that doesn't fit within this 11 and a half inches, it will turn it vertically and shift it onto a longer mat. But if it's also just, all right, let's make this smaller again and hit make it. Let's say you want it to cut vertically or you want it to cut differently. So what I did was I just came over to this mat and tapped on it, clicked on it. I can then take the design and I can make it go any way I want it to go. So if you have something that's showing up not where you want it, let's say you know your little scrap of vinyl that you're using only has space on the right side, then you can move something to the right side. Or if you only have a little scrap that's a long skinny scrap, you can move it over here and place that wherever you want it to cut. Does that make sense? Does that help answer that question?
Yeah, that's great, Joy. Thanks.
Hey, Joy, could you point out where the weld button is exactly on Design Space? A couple people are having trouble finding it.
Because I'm going too fast. Yes, it's down here, bottom right. On the bottom right, you have weld, slice, weld, detach, flatten, and contour. And next week, we'll go deeper into all of these different buttons. But on the top of your layer panel, you have group, ungroup, duplicate, and delete. You also have the layers panel, and then you have a color sync panel. So you can go to the color sync, and if you want everything to sync to the same color, you can make that happen here. I just did it where I highlighted each one on the canvas. So you have two choices of how you can do that.
So the
So
great
let's
news
go.
about that, Joy, is we all can just go in and play, right?
Yes, free to
You know,
play. Click
design,
on buttons. You
yeah,
won't.
you can't break it, guys. You can't break it. It's really just play. Just push a bunch of buttons and see what happens. You can always
Absolutely.
hit undo. You can always try dropping and dragging. I would say every month. That's why you guys are seeing a lot of updates on Design Space. We were talking about that versioning earlier. That's because as we get your feedback, you are valuable to us. So we are always trying to update Design Space, create better, easier, faster ways for you to do the things that you would like to do. Sometimes that's technologically easy and it doesn't take us too long. And then other times, like curving a font took us a little bit longer. There was a substantial amount of research and technology that went in being able to do that. So we're always updating Design Space, but the good news is you can't break it. There's nothing you can do to hurt it. It's not an eternal problem if you do something you didn't mean to do. So enjoy yourself. Get out there, play with it, and do what Joy does, and you'll learn all kinds of tips and tricks just by getting in it.
That's what I did. That's how I learned it. Okay, so let's go back to our initial project of my little elephant project for a onesie. Because this template is behind my image, I can see that this would cut out too big for that little onesie. So I can do a couple of things. I can click on these little arrows down here on the bounding box around the image, and I can just drag it up until I visually see that looks about right, and that's about where I'd place it, so I like that size. I could also come up here to the size and adjust it. The one thing that is happening though is because this is locked, portions are staying the same when I adjust the size of the project. So if I wanted to make it more short one way or another, I could take that lock off and then play with everything that way and then relock it. Now I've added the template here, but when I go to make it, you'll see that the template is not cutting. So right now I have everything cutting from one sheet, from one iron-on that I'm going to put onto a onesie. And I know because I'm using iron-on, I have to go over here and remember to do the mirror. But let's say I want to make a couple of these because I'm going to put them on different things. I'm going to put them on different shirts for little baby Emily to wear throughout her growing up. So I'm going to I'm going up here to project copies. And let's say, and Design Space is being a little weird right now. But I could go up here and adjust the quantity and hit apply. And then that would change the quantity of how many I have on here. So, however, this is a trick I've learned the hard way. If I go back and change my mind and I say, oh no, I want 3 of these, and then I hit apply, I will notice that my mirroring will come off. So it's like a thing that I have to double, triple, quadruple check all the time is, do I have this facing the right way? And then I know it's all right. And then I would hit, for some reason I have cancel down here, but I would hit to go ahead and cut. And then I can make my material choices and it will go right through my machine and then I can cut my iron-on. So I think that is everything that we wanted to show you today. I know we went through a lot of stuff, from how to sign up and get your Design Space to going in and doing a Make It Now project and then playing with a few of the projects. It's a lot of information. Like Jenny said, just get in there and start playing and you'll be amazed at all the things you can make.
Yeah, there's been some really great questions during this, Joy. We haven't been able to answer every single one of them, even though we totally want to. We love these online classes, you guys, because we can engage with you and we can try to answer these questions. But Michaels.com has some pretty phenomenal tutorial videos on each machine and Design Space as well, and some additional information on projects and materials. You can also check out Cricut.com, of course. There's a lot of great beginner tutorials and videos on YouTube from Michaels and Cricut. And just, feel free to watch those videos based on what it is that you're trying to do. There is a fabulous community of Cricut crafters on Michael's Facebook page, as well as Cricut's official Facebook page. We have a large community of folks that do this every day, and they're also happy to answer questions. Again, anything you can find online, maybe you have a specific influencer that you love watching, like Carly Hall, who does some awesome videos with Michael's. She's great. You can utilize her videos as well. And then, of course, Joy and I are here every week, at least for the next 3 weeks. And we're happy to answer as much as we can for you. I think the boldest message that we can actually give you today is, don't hesitate to get in there and play. Design Space is a tool that's made for you, so you can make the things that you want to make for your friends, your family, your side hustle, whatever it is that your creativity is inspiring you to make. We hope we can provide you valuable tools to make you successful.
Yeah. And one of the other tips, one final tip I'll give you, when I was starting out learning Design Space, if I ran into a problem and I would say to myself, I just want to copy and paste this someplace else, I would literally go into YouTube and then type in Cricut Design Space, how to copy paste. Somebody has a video for it. Somebody will show you exactly what to do. So if a question is in your head rolling around, go to YouTube, type in your question. There's probably a video for it. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to play in it. Don't be afraid to ask your YouTube a ton of questions. That's what YouTube is for. And yeah, we just love giving you guys all this information each week. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Joy and Jenny, and everyone that has attended this class. I know there were questions flying left and right. Like Jenny and Joy said, there are a ton of resources. I'm so sorry that we couldn't answer every single one of your questions, but YouTube, Michael's, Cricut, everyone has something available to help get your questions answered. Thank you all again. There are lots more classes that you can sign up for, more Cricut classes and even more other classes. If you want to learn a new craft, please feel free to sign up. michaels.com/classes has them all there, and we're every day adding new classes to the lineup, so make sure that you're checking back often. We are here to help you keep making, keep creating. We know that right now this is such a crazy time, and we are so appreciative that you are spending your probably 1 free hour away from the kids or the craziness of life with us. So thank you so much for that. Like I said earlier, this is being recorded. We will post this probably tomorrow or the next day on michaels.com/classes. So you will be able to rewatch it, pause it, rewind, go back, just to keep learning. We know we threw a lot at you today, but thank you all so much. Thank you, Joy and Jenny. You guys are amazing as always. We so appreciate your time. And I hope everybody has a really great rest of your week.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.